Did you know there's a cheap ingredient sitting in your kitchen right now that may help you fight aphids, mealybugs, whiteflies, and other common garden pests? But there's a catch. Use the wrong concentration, spray it at the wrong time, or apply it incorrectly, and instead of saving your plants, you could damage them. So today I'm going to show you a simple garlic-based garden spray, how to make it, how to apply it, and the 3 mistakes you absolutely need to avoid. And the best part? You probably already have everything you need. Let's start with the ingredient that makes this spray so interesting: garlic powder. Garlic has a powerful smell that many garden pests dislike, making it a popular ingredient in homemade pest control recipes. But garlic alone isn't enough. You need water to carry it and a small amount of mild dish soap to help the mixture spread across the leaves instead of simply rolling off. Here's the recipe. You'll need 1 quart of water, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of mild, unscented dish soap. If possible, use water that has been left sitting uncovered for several hours. Pour the water into a container and add the garlic powder. Stir it thoroughly. Then add the dish soap and gently mix again. Transfer the mixture into a clean spray bottle. That's it. But before you run outside and spray your entire garden, there's something extremely important you need to know. The timing matters. One of the biggest mistakes gardeners make with homemade sprays is applying them under intense sunlight. When leaves are wet and exposed to strong heat and sunlight, some plants can develop leaf damage. So avoid spraying during the hottest part of the day. Instead, spray in the early morning or late afternoon, when temperatures are cooler and the sun is less intense. And always test the mixture on a small section of the plant first. Wait and see how the plant reacts before treating everything. Now comes the part many gardeners miss. Don't just spray the tops of the leaves. Turn them over. Aphids, mealybugs, and whiteflies often hide underneath leaves, where they're protected from direct exposure. So when you spray, cover the upper surface, the underside of the leaves, and the stems. You want a light, even coating, not a plant dripping with liquid. And remember, more spray does not automatically mean better results. Mistake number 2, using too much soap. This is a common problem with homemade garden sprays. People assume that if a little soap helps the mixture spread, more soap must work even better. It doesn't. Too much soap can damage some plants, especially plants with delicate foliage. Stick to a mild dish soap and use a conservative amount. And again, test the spray before applying it to your entire garden. Mistake number 3, spraying once and giving up. This is where patience becomes important. A spray may affect the pests you can see, but it won't necessarily solve the entire problem in one application. Some pests may be hidden, others may hatch later. That's why gardeners often need repeated applications. Instead of flooding your plants every day, inspect them regularly and reapply according to how the infestation responds. If you still see active pests after several days, repeat the treatment, and always stop if you notice leaf spotting, browning, curling, or other signs of plant damage. Now, what if your plant is absolutely covered in pests? Don't immediately reach for the spray bottle. Start with something much simpler. Water. A strong stream of water can physically knock many soft-bodied insects off your plants. Take the plant outside and gently spray the leaves, especially the undersides. You can remove a surprising number of pests this way before applying anything else. If a heavily infested leaf or branch is badly damaged, pruning it may also help reduce the population. Then isolate the affected plant if possible. Because sometimes the biggest problem isn't the plant you're looking at. It's the healthy plant sitting right next to it. And here's another trick gardeners often overlook. Inspect new plants before bringing them into your garden. A plant can look perfectly healthy at the nursery while carrying a few pests or eggs. Then you bring it home. A week later, suddenly, your entire garden has a problem. So when you buy a new plant, inspect the leaves, stems, and undersides carefully. Keeping new plants separate for a short period can make it much easier to catch an infestation before it spreads. You can also make your garden less attractive to pests by keeping plants healthy. Water appropriately. Provide good drainage. Give plants enough light. Remove dead or heavily damaged leaves and avoid constantly stressing the plant. A struggling plant is often much easier for pests to overwhelm. What about different types of plants? For delicate leafy vegetables like lettuce, spinach, kale, and chard, be especially cautious. Use a fine mist rather than completely soaking the foliage and test the spray first. For ornamental plants such as roses and hibiscus, monitor the plant carefully after the first application. And for edible crops, always wash produce thoroughly before eating. One more important point, don't assume every garden pest can be controlled with garlic spray. Aphids and other soft-bodied insects are one thing. Spider mites, scale insects, caterpillars, and other pests may require completely different strategies. Correctly identifying the pest is often more important than choosing the spray. So if you see tiny insects covering your new growth, don't immediately start mixing stronger and stronger formulas. First, figure out what you're dealing with, because the goal isn't simply to kill bugs, the goal is to protect your plants without damaging the garden you worked so hard to grow. And that brings us to the biggest advantage of homemade solutions. They're cheap. You don't need an expensive collection of garden products sitting in your shed. A small container of garlic powder and a bottle of mild dish soap can make numerous batches. But remember, homemade does not automatically mean harmless. Natural ingredients can still damage plants when they're too concentrated or applied incorrectly. That's why the safest approach is always start small. Test first. Watch the plant. Then expand. If the plant reacts well and the pests remain active, continue with careful repeat applications. And if you see damage, stop. Your garden is giving you feedback. Listen to it. So let's quickly recap the method. You need 1 quart of water, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of mild dish soap. Mix the ingredients thoroughly and place the solution in a spray bottle. Apply a light coating to both sides of the leaves and the stems. Avoid spraying during intense heat or direct sunlight. Test the mixture on a small part of the plant first, and don't expect one application to magically solve every infestation. Inspect your plants regularly and repeat only when necessary. And remember the 3 biggest mistakes. Don't spray in intense sunlight. Don't use excessive soap or an overly concentrated mixture. And don't ignore the underside of the leaves or give up after one application. If you've been fighting aphids, mealybugs, or whiteflies, this simple garlic spray may be worth testing before spending money on another expensive garden product. But I want to hear from you. What pest is causing the biggest problem in your garden right now? Aphids, whiteflies, mealybugs, or something completely different? Drop it in the comments, and if you try this method, tell us what happened. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more simple garden solutions, and check out the next video for another inexpensive trick that could help your plants produce more flowers. Until then, keep experimenting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep growing.